when I'd logged into ESO as Lislot. As was often the case, 3 hours passed by in the blink of an eye, as tends to be the case when you're super engrossed into a game. Dude, that's how you know you're into the game. When you start playing, hours pass, you didn't even think about eating, drinking, going to the bathroom, nothing. It's been about 2 weeks since I'd last used her, but she made for a pretty good support, so I was feeling pretty satisfied. I left that cafe in a good mood and started heading home. Why do I think our good mood's gonna be screwed? Center guy was as packed and noisy as usual, which irritated me. The bright lights illuminating the streets from the various shops made it hard to believe it was nighttime. And at the end of the well-lit road, please, despite the crowds, I clearly saw her, causing me to stop dead in my tracks. That one girl. Oh no. The one who was gonna take my lunch money. And she's got a sword now. Is this the same girl that you saw on the stairs? Cause I don't think that was really made clear. But she is just carrying a sword, so I imagine it is. In the midst of so many people, she glared directly at me. I've done nothing wrong. Right smack in the center of Center Guy, where people were coming and going without reprieve, where it was difficult to even walk straight. She stood still, resting the gigantic sword she carried on her shoulder. You got a cool sword. Oh, God. The spectacle was completely absurd, and yet no one paid her sword any mind. The stream of people flowed right past her with no change in demeanor. She was the girl I'd seen at 107. Okay, so it is. She had been there when Nanami was dragging me around to buy a cell phone. The shape of her sword, her Suime uniform, her long black hair, everything matched perfectly. Back then, she'd been standing at the top of the stairs in front of 107, watching the passerbys come and go. And I remembered the sharpness of her glare. Yeah, and we're getting the full force of that right now. I had met her once before at school. She was gonna beat us up. She had those almond-shaped eyes and clean-cut model-like features, and yet they only served to make her seem all the more unapproachable. And it was all capped off by that long, silky black hair that stretched all the way down to her waist. She was Girl B, the one who had so rudely probed me in the corridors after school one day, asking me who I was. Come to think of it, why was she glaring at me? I don't know. Maybe we should just go the opposite direction. Thinking maybe it wasn't me she was looking at, I turned around. Usually when something like that happened, more often than not, they were just looking at someone who happened to be behind me, but nope, that wasn't the case here. The one she was glaring at, her gaze filled with intense hostility, had to be me. I froze. I knew now what it felt like to be someone's prey. God, just kill me. Put me out of my misery. Glaring back was out of the question. I was always terrible at looking people in the eye, so I couldn't help but stare down at the pavement. Don't worry, I'm the same. I've said so before. I should run. That's our first thought. It's always we just freeze or we run. Or both. Normally, I'd go home by taking a left at Scramble Crossing, where she was standing. She knows. And then I would end up next to Book Fat. Who names their Anyway. But today, I headed for the station instead. There were a lot of people there, but I'd rather that than deal with some scary 3D girl harassing me. Hell, she might even try to mug me. I think she'll do more than mug you. With that sword, it's over, buddy. Or maybe she was only feigning being alone, and she actually had several DQNs lurking nearby, waiting for her to lure me in so they could beat the shit out of me. To be honest, they probably one-shot me. Bro, you like getting the wind knocked out of you just from someone touching you, like it's over. Like I'd fall for that. I swiveled to the right, only to be caught completely off guard. Oh my god, she's there. She's very fast. Somehow the girl was right in front of me. Flustered, I turned back around to look at Scramble Crossing. She was no longer there. Hey, see, you know, I looked in front of me once again. The girl with the sword was still glaring at me, just as she had been before. What the hell? When did she get around me? Legs can only move so fast. She instant transmissioned, it's fine. That was practically teleportation. And besides, how could she have predicted I'd turn around in the first place?
Oi.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. Her voice reached my ears with extreme clarity. I frantically looked around me. I wanted to think she was talking to someone else, even though I already knew full well who she was talking to. I searched for anyone else that she could direct that "hey you" toward. But obviously, there was no one. A number of businessmen walking by glanced at Girl B inquisitively, only to realize she wasn't talking to them and walked away. Girl B, who was standing there imposingly the entire time, took a sudden step toward me. I ain't gonna lie, she's hot, okay? If I can die to someone like this, I'd be fine. Just admit. What's wrong with me? That was all the confirmation I needed. Girl B had been targeting me after all.
お前
Oh god.
見えるのか
Rude as ever. In my 17 years of life, I could probably count the number of times a girl had talked to me like this on one hand. Wait, did she say, she said, do you see it? Like the sword? Does that why no one is paying, like, attention? Like, it's not like a thing because it's just, no one else can see it? Well, I guess there were times when Kuramiya Tsubaki, aka Sunko, had talked to me like that, but it was in a tsundere kind of way. Granted, Sunko was just a 2D character from Eroge. Tell me doll. Stop, Girl B kept getting closer and closer as those stupid thoughts raced through my head. Why does she feel so intimidating even though she's a girl? I wondered, but the reasons were simple. The sharp look in her eyes, and the gigantic sword she was carrying. For a sword, it had a fairly unique shape. It was a kind of thing that operated on anime logic. It had an awesome design, but if you actually used it in real life, it'd be completely unusable. Oh, we'll see. It had to be from some mecha anime. Had there been any mecha anime that had been airing recently? No, dude. Even though I knew it was a prop from some random anime cosplay, it still looked incredibly sharp and solid. You don't know it's a prop. Like, if you even so much as touched it, it would slice your fingers clean off. What a strange sword.
見えるのかと聞いている
She, like, puts it right up in our face. Girl B had already cut the distance between us by 2 meters. If she swung her sword, it would hit me. Flustered, I took a step back, but it was too late. Girl B closed the distance further and I'm dead. Ow. Yep. Oh my god. Okay, so, she'd actually swung the sword. We're going positive on this one. Listen, I think, obviously the bad one would be like we die or something, but I just want to see what the positive would be. Cowering on the spot, I covered my head. If I hadn't dodged it, it would have hit my head for sure. Now's not a time for a delusion, though, I feel like. I doubt it would have cut me. But with that kind of force behind it, it would have given me a concussion and permanently dented my skull. I hated pain. I mean, I don't like pain either. Look, I was so shaken, my speech got all messed up. Are we approaching this in a positive, or is it just an actual delusion? Okay, no. That's what it is. We're approaching it in a more positive way. How? How do I approach this in a more positive way? She looks so cool. Girl B looked down at me coldly. Man, she was really close. Her bare legs were right in front of me. Jesus Christ. And at this angle, I could almost see up her skirt. Don't say that.
やはり見えるのか。
すいません。見てないです。
That's not what she's talking about. I frantically lowered my gaze. I knew for a fact she was going to accuse me of looking at her panties. But I didn't see them, I swear. I almost saw them, but I didn't. Really. Besides, 3D panties didn't get me off anyway. The panties I fapped to either are 2D or belong to figures. What a sad, strange little man. Oh, okay, never mind. We are wibbly wobbling.
嘘だ。絶対見た。さっきからチラチラ見てただろ。
Oh no.
本当に見てない。
Oh Jesus. And then for some reason I couldn't comprehend. Girlby slipped off one of her shoes, and then she began to take off one of her knee socks. Great. In the midst of this, the area under her skirt threatened to become visible yet again, leaving me at a loss for where to look. I tried to find an opening to escape, but Girlby refused to take her eyes off me as she continued removing her sock. Can I have that, by the way? I'm not a... Oh, no. What have I done? Oh, nah. The now barefoot girl assumed an imposing stance, curving her lips in a scornful manner. See, now I can... God damn it. Oh my god, look at her face. You know what?
悪女させてやる。
I'm okay with this, to be honest with you. Better than being killed by a sword. Or is it? Suddenly Girlby's warm, barefoot stepped directly on... No! No, don't! The sudden humiliation rendered me hopelessly embarrassed.
ほら。どうだ。グリ。
Stop it!
やめ。
This is inappropriate. The people walking around didn't even look at us. Why couldn't there be at least one person to come to my rescue? What a cold society we lived in. Ah.
だんだん大きくなってきたぞ。
No, stop referencing everything that involves that area. Having this happen to me and right smack in the middle of Center Guy, it was mortifying, but I was enjoying it. Feel like I chose the wrong one, to be honest, for my own sanity. Okay, thank God it's over.
答えろ。見えるんだな。
Gonna have to block all that text.
理想度が。
Okay, yeah, there it is. Would she have just killed me with the sword if the... When I came back to myself, I couldn't immediately grasp what was going on, leaving me to blankly stare up at Girl B. What did she call it? The D sword? No, the die sword. Yes. The die sword. She was still wearing her shoes, and she wasn't stepping on my, area or nothing. It's fine. What the? Had that been a delusion? So she wasn't trying to accuse me of seeing her underwear? At any rate, a die sword? What the hell was that? It was the first time I'd ever heard that word. Girl B had said it was a sword, and whatever she was carrying was definitely shaped like a sword. Was she asking if I could see it? I decided to just nod. He was like, I don't know, but yes, I do. I mean, I obviously could see it. There'd be something wrong with me if I couldn't. Lugging around a sword that large and conspicuous, and in Center Guy no less. If I'd be willing to accept it if this was Akiba, but Shibuya of all places?
そうか。お前も集められたんだな。
What do you mean? Dude, I'd be like, oh no. Gathered? Who? By who? Why? At the very least, I was definitely here voluntarily.
エラーを見たことがあるか。
In Japanese, please. Was what I wanted to say, but unsurprisingly, I wasn't brave enough. Dude, you are scared to do anything. Then again, if I said the wrong thing, she'd probably stab me, so... Regardless, this chick had been spouting nothing but nonsense ever since she'd first opened her mouth.
見たら教えろ。
Almost said erpened her mouth. Erpened. What do you mean error? Okay, she's not killing me. After she said that, Girl B turned around. Her skirt fluttered in the breeze and I could almost see her underwear again. I hurriedly shut my eyes. I don't think she gives a
私は
single...
3年の青い瀬名。
Oh, hi. You have a very nice name.
駅前の電車にいる。
Okay. Did she just disappear? Yup. Motherfucker, dude. I opened my eyes. The girl calling herself Senna had vanished. I was completely stunned, and it wasn't until I arrived back at my base that I realized that I hadn't understood a single goddamn word she'd said. Bro, it's not hard to understand. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, now what? My door's just left open. This is an invasion of my privacy. Despite everything going on, I had to go to school 3 times this week. Somebody kill me. Well, if you really want. Oh my god. Oh no. A mysterious screech resounded from far away. The sudden nature of it made me jump, and when I slowly looked in the direction of which it came from... Yeah.
鬼
He says, he's like, ah, fuck. Oh no. Nanami rushed toward me with staggering speed. I tried to run away, but it was too late. She'd already circled around me and blocked my path. She always did have amazing reflexes.
ちょっとなんで妹見て逃げるの
I do that all the time. Maybe because you're incredibly annoying?
あ、そうやってすぐ黙るし。
Damn it. Why'd she have to decide to go to Suime of all places? That decision had done nothing but cause me pain and suffering. Whenever she ran into me on the way to school, she always stuck her nose into my business without fail.
ねえねえ、携帯どう使ってる使ってないでしょ。
She's right.
買ってからもう何日か経ってるけど、一度も家にかけてこないもんね。
I got a few, I got a call, but that was about it. Doing my best to break free, I started speed walking, but Nanami was determined to keep up.
家に生存報告の電話ぐらいしなよ。そのために買ったんだから。
You know I'm alive. All I do is sit in my tanker.
どうしても嫌なら、ナナの携帯にかけるだけでもいいからさ。
Jesus Christ.
お母さん、心配してるんだからね。そもそも、ちゃんとご飯食べてんの？どうせコンビニ弁当ばっかなんでしょ？
You know, I don't think I'm actually eating.
やっぱお兄に一人暮らしは無理なんだよ。家に帰ってきなよ。
Well, I had those fish sausages that one time, but that was pretty much it.
ナナがどんな気持ちでお兄の様子見に行ってるか分かってる？ いつも心配でしょうがないんだからね。
Oh my god. She's only caring about him and he's like freaking out. Shut the fuck up! What the hell's your problem? Are you my mom or something? And stop talking about shit like this when we're on the side of the road. It's humiliating. I had already been feeling like shit, yet this bitch had somehow managed to come along and make me feel even worse. Uh-huh. Oh no, I half expected Yua to just like creep around the corner again. There was nothing on earth more embarrassing than walking to school with your younger sister. I could think of way more embarrassing things. Walking to school with your mom, for one. The situation came about quite often in Edoge. Hell, I'd always longed for it to happen to me. But Nanami was nothing compared to 2D little sisters. Less than nothing. Damn it, world. Give me a cuter younger sister. Your sister's cute as is. Leave her alone. She's just 3D. Oh no. A slightly tense atmosphere hung in the air between us as we walked side by side toward school. I looked at Nanami to see if there was any chance of escape before we reached the gate. Even though she had been yammering on and on just a minute ago, she had fallen completely silent, now walking with an absent-minded look on her face. It even looked like her eyes weren't really focused on the road, but that was probably just my imagination. Her footsteps were unsteady. Nanami, are you okay? Something must be wrong with her, I suspected. She kept on swaying back and forth, and about a moment later, she stumbled right out onto the road. Oh no! Nanami, help! Save her! We will alert Space Marines! Right as a car came racing toward her. Okay, he has awareness enough, like the reflexes enough to do that. Panicked, I grabbed Nanami's arm and yanked her back. What the fuck's the matter with you? The horn of the car blared as it sped by. She'd barely just avoided getting run over.
お前、何やってんだ。
あれ
Nanami blinked a few times, then tilted her head to the side.
ナナ、今なんであんなこと。
Was that an error? Oh no.
あれ
The world is a simulation. Everything's breaking at the seams. I was at a loss for words. She was an honest-to-God fucking idiot. I feel like you should be more concerned. She didn't even understand her own actions. And for the record, that wasn't Moe. Not even close. Yeah! That wasn't Moe.
何やってるんだよ。車にひかれたいのか。
車なんて来てた？
What? Yes, there was a car! What was up with this total fucking ditz of a sister?
ねえお兄、今ヒュンヒュンヒュンっていう音聞こえなかった？
What? What was she talking about? I hadn't heard jack shit.
その音聞いてたらね、なんだかぼんやりした感覚になって。
A whirring sound?
で、あそこに。
Nanami pointed at the corner of the road.
お父さんとお母さんが立ってて、ナナを呼んでたの。
What? When I looked to where Nanami was pointing, I didn't see our parents. Instead, I saw a creepy man standing in that exact spot. Uh-oh. He wore a plaid shirt, fingerless gloves, jeans rolled up at the bottom, and white sneakers. He had a rucksack on his back that was filled to bursting. He looked like an otaku plucked straight out of Akiba. Capping off his outfit, he was holding a video camera in one hand. Did he have a voyeur fetish or some shit?
おい、他人を指さすな。
What the shit is... God, what a rude ass sister. Besides, it made no sense for our parents to be here in the first place. They lived in Kitagawa after all.
おかしいな。確かに呼ばれたのに。
I don't like this at all. The man started looking our way. Then he pointed the camera lens at us. What the hell was wrong with him?
行くぞ、ナナミ。
Frightened, I quickly ran from the scene, leaving Nanami behind.
あ、
Oh,
お兄、ちょっと待ってよ。
Yeah, just leave her behind. God damn it. Well, that was something. I continued to ignore Nanami until we got to school, upon which I ditched her to walk down the noisiest ever hallway to my classroom. When walking down the hallway, stay along the edge. Don't walk too fast or too slow, and don't make eye contact with anybody. Those were the 3 rules I always followed. That was how I didn't stand out in school. I transformed myself into an existence akin to air itself. That was my secret to success.
よ、タク。
Yet we have one person that always harasses us. Yet people like him definitely made it hard for it to actually work. Catching up to me from behind, Misumi-kun greeted me in his usual overly friendly fashion by clapping a hand on my shoulder. Ah.
おいっす。
Don't touch me, don't touch me, I'm sterile.
挨拶ぐらいしろって。ま、お前がそういうやつだってのは分かってるけどよ。なあ、この前 D 組の女子の話したよな。 めったに学校来ねえけど、すげえ可愛い女子がいるって。
You talk about a lot of girls.
その子、岸本綾瀬って名前なんだけどよ。実は、その岸本に関して、すげえ発見したんだ。
Oh no. Mishimi-kun suddenly lowered his voice, then looked around us. It was just going to be something vulgar, wasn't it? Already tired of his bullshit. I almost let out a sigh.
フェスいるだろ。フェス。
Uh-oh. But what he said made me bite it back.
その岸本ってのがフェスなんだよ。
Oh, cool.
俺マジビビったぜ。まさかフェスがうちの学校の生徒だなんてよ。
Wow, what a shock.
しかも俺らとタメだってことだぜ。
Wow. For whatever reason, Misumi-kun leaned his upper body out the window, then gazed up toward the sky with a look of pure ecstasy.
運命ってきっとこういうことを言うんだな。
This was the third floor. If he were to slip, he'd fall to the ground and break his neck, ending his life like that. My anxiety steadily climbed as I watched him. He'll be fine. Misumi-kun leaned farther and farther and farther out the window before switching his gaze down toward the entrance beneath it.
噂をすればなんとやらだタク。岸本を発見した。
Oh shit.
ここに来るぜ。
Let me take a look-see here. Hold up. He's always just so... Whenever he speaks, it's just... with so many coincidences piling up one after the other. Maybe it was really fate. Not that I cared.
よし、待ち構えてやる。見てろタク。俺のナンパ術ってのを見せてやるよ。
I'm gonna guess, and it's not gonna work out this time. He was brimming with self-confidence. Man, alpha males like him were really impressive. Picking up girls and all that was a completely different world for me. It wasn't even worth trying. Nope. Fuck that. Oh, I hear the footsteps. Oh, yep, there she is. A few moments later, Kishimoto Idase appeared. It was like Misumi-kun said. She really was Fez. I made sure of that while observing her from a safe distance. I still couldn't believe she was in the same year as us. She was wearing a Suime uniform. A distinct aloofness came from her expression as she walked slowly down the hallway. It gave off a completely different impression than the one she'd held on stage. Back then, despite her apathetic tone, I'd felt a sense of power and liveliness emanating off of her. But now, the aura she gave off felt listless and unapproachable. Ignoring this, likely deliberately, Misumi-kun strolled over to her with the same overly friendly attitude he always had with me, then casually stopped right next to her.
Yo, Kishimoto-san. Oh, hayo.
This is gonna be a disaster. Whoa, his smile's so invigorating, despite being so obviously fake. What he doing with that hand down here? I had no idea how he was able to act like that around someone he barely knew. That's why we love him. That's why we admire him. Then again, I didn't really want to be him.
俺、三角大輔。よろしく。おっと、初対面とか思ってるだろう。でも違うんだな、これが。
Just like skates on by.
俺さ、こないだファンタズムのライブ行ったんだよね。だから、君に会うのは2度目。
I feel like you shouldn't bring that up. I don't know. I just wouldn't bring it up.
で、その時君の歌声にこうなんつうのビビってきちゃったんだ。
Is that good?
別に俺ミーハーとかじゃねえよ。惹かれたのはさ、詩とか君の可愛さとかそういうところもあるけど、でも何より一番すげえって思ったのはやっぱバンドとしての完成度っつうか。
I like how he threw in the how cute you are part.
あの音あっての君の歌声っつうの。ちなみに俺も実はバンドやりたいなって思っててさ、よかったらああいういいバンドメンバーを見つけるコツとかバンドの先輩としての心得みたいなもの教えてくんねえかな。
You didn't want to start a band.
今すぐじゃ迷惑だろうから。そうだな。放課後とか暇？どっかで二人きりでじっくり話さない？
Nope. I'll be part of the band. I'll be the singer. Sumikun just kept on talking and talking with no breaks. His tone was different than usual, and it was obviously fake. She hasn't said a goddamn word. Not only that, but he wasn't hitting on her directly, instead using the band angle in order to invite her somewhere nonchalantly. See, that's a good play, but I don't think nothing's gonna work. I'd never heard this fun fact about Masumi-kun wanting to start a band before. It had to be a lie. He had to be willing to go that far in order to win some points, to force a flag rather than obtaining it naturally. But she just gone. Wait. Oh no. Fez didn't even so much as look at him. We already did a positive with her before. You know what? Fuck it. We're doing positives lately. I've been doing a lot of negatives, so might as well keep going with it. She simply continued to walk down the hallway at the same pace, as if not a sound had reached her ears.
なあ、聞いてる？
Though really the positive delusions tend to lead me toward having to censor more things, despite the things that I'm censoring being completely fine, but I have to because stupid. Oh, suddenly Fez stopped in her tracks. Her slightly lowered gaze slowly rose up and then, no, don't look at me. Ah! She looked at me. Stop looking at me. Huh? Me? Come to think of it, the same thing happened at the concert. I felt like Fez was staring directly at me. Just in general, I'd been stared at by a whole bunch of freaky 3D girls over the past couple weeks. God, what the fuck was going on? Was I becoming popular? Well, we'll see what happens with this delusion. Yay, the wibbly wobbly.
私、好きな人がいるのよ。
Jesus Christ.
マジ？何？それって俺のこと？
Why would she say that when you...
そこの人。
そこ？
Nobody likes him. Over where? Who was she talking about? She wasn't pointing anywhere nor doing anything that would clue us in as to who she was referring to. She just kept looking at me and only me. Wait, was the person she liked me?
この前、ライブに来てたわね。
And she stared directly at us. Fez began to walk toward me, still refusing to avert her gaze. My surroundings began to abuzz. Everyone was listening in on the unexpected confession of Shibuya's famous songstress Fez.
いや、俺もライブに行って。
Bro, shut up.
一目で悟ったわ。
Let me have something in my life. Ah! Fez wasn't listening to a single thing Masumi-kun said. She grabbed my necktie with one hand and pulled me close. Uh-oh. Close enough that I could clearly feel her breath against my skin. This was not a distance you can maintain with someone you were close friends with. Nor was it one to be shared between family members. It was a distance, a closeness, reserved only for lovers.
君が私の運命の人だって。
God damn it. With nary even a smile, Fez slowly brushed my cheek with her fingertips. The sheer seductiveness of the gesture sent chills down my spine. I mean, you seen that last illusion we had with her? That was a lot of seductiveness. I was entranced. Fez had me. I couldn't take my eyes off her.
決めたわ。私、君のお嫁さんになる。
Oh my god. Yay, the cheers. Yeah! That declaration was so far removed from the normal aloofness and decadence that Fez always carried, and yet the sheer contrast between them proved unbearably cute. Everyone around us was effectively throbbing with excitement upon hearing Fez's proposal to me. Misumi-kun was so utterly mortified upon losing to me that he came crashing down to his knees, crestfallen.
僕の意見は無視ですか
When have we ever had a say in anything that's ever happened in this game?
嫌じゃないです
I don't not want you. Good call. Felt like I was being swept away by a river of temptation. If I got to marry a beautiful girl like her, I would win at life right then and there. And thus began the heart-pounding love story of me and Fez. Yay! Oh, that didn't happen. Like that ever happened. While I was over here drowning in my moronic delusions, Fez was murmuring something in a low voice, only to up and disappear soon after.
自信なくすぜ。くそー。
Dude, it wasn't gonna happen. So she had a sword too, which means that if we're going off of our other encounter with Senna, then the sword isn't like actually visible to people that aren't like fucked up or something. Listen, so like they just couldn't see the mic stand sword. Misumi-kun was sulking, having been completely and utterly disregarded, considering how she was able to deter an alpha male of his caliber like he was no lower than a spur on a boot of hers, to deter him like he was nothing more than a typical monsieur. Maybe the other team was what Fez preferred, a true Yuri connoisseur.
それはすごくいいツールです
Oh, God, why do you say things out loud? Just keep them to yourself. Especially if she was a lowly type character like Nanami. Oh, yeah. God damn it.
あんな不愛想な女、もう二度と相手にしてやるもんかよ。
Wow.
あー、うぜえ。
You're just salty because the one girl that you were trying to get, boom, you can get her.
だいたい何が剣を見つけろだ。わけわかんねえ。
剣
Wait.
ああ、岸本がそう言ってただろ。
No, I was in my own world.
剣を見つけろ。そうすれば救われるって。
Ah, fuck. Salvation?
なあ、タク。ファンタズムの歌にそんな歌詞でもあるのか？
Will I get a sick sword? A sword? Could that possibly be referring to that mic stand thing that she'd been using during the concert? Come to think of it, there'd been another person a couple days ago that interrogated me about a sword. Yeah, there was. That Senna girl. The one who was absolutely terrifying. I'd actually thought she was going to slice me in two. The sword she'd been carrying was a different shape than the one Fez had, but they had a similar aura to them. Yeah, they're like, it's like the same kind of, you could tell they're related. You know what I mean? Like the swords. Could the two of them be connected somehow? I don't know. There was way too much shit I didn't know. Nope. We don't know shit, dude. Oh, Shogun, Demon Girl, Yua, Fez, Senna. Boom. Swords. Alright. He's like, okay, what do now? As was my old habit, I jotted down a list of all the things I didn't know enough about in my head. I'd meant to put myself as one final item on the list, but decided against it. I was completely normal. No, you're not. It was the stuff happening around me that wasn't. That was the most obvious conclusion. God, you're the... What, did you like just take out a notepad and you just started writing it down? Was Fez my ally or my enemy? She's our bride. It would be nice to know at least that much. Problem was, I didn't have the courage to ask her. This is the problem with being a fucking an antisocial loser. Oh my god. Today I headed straight for Animate without stopping by at Cafe. The reason, of course, was to finally pick up my long-awaited Blood-Toon figure. Seraton, post-awakening version. Why do I feel like we're about to run into Yua here, too? While I was in checkout, Yua's face crossed my mind for a second, but I cut off those thoughts immediately. Oh, I guess not. I glanced at the seratons that were set on display in order to attract customers. But since the sculptor was Kojima Yoshio, not a single word needed to be said about their quality. I had to get home fast so I could enjoy her every nook and cranny as soon as possible. God! As long as I could admire Seraton's face every now and then. And while I played ESO, I was content. So why did the entire third dimension do nothing but bring me trouble? It plagued me even now. I headed straight for my base in high spirits, forgetting all about Fez and swords and whatever else, and practically skipping the entire way home. He's like, "Hubdy-dubdy-doo," like this, oh, no, Billy Williams. I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. I'll never kill a man. Listen, it's not my fault. It's over.